Today's August 29th, 2021. My name's Bill, aka Billy Goat, and today we're going to be talking about the third mower that I bought for my business. Let me give you a little background on how I got this mower. Back in 2013, when I first started my business, I think it was late winter, I went to the bank to get a business checking account, and met with this really nice lady there that took all my information and set the account up for me. Well, I believe it was a couple weeks later, she contacted me on a personal note and asked if I could come to her home to give her a quote to cut her grass, and I said absolutely, I'll be happy to do that for you. I met with her and her husband and gave them the quote, which they accepted. I believe it was a $35 yard. I mean, it was a small yard, and so we continued to chit chat for a little bit. And her husband was at the time a truck driver, and on the weekends he was a weekend warrior and cut grass. And he had, I believe it was either a 6x12 or 6x10 trailer, and like a portable shed that he had in his backyard, and he had two riding lawn tractors on there that I believe, if I recall. And but he had some health issues, and I'm not sure if he had an operation or not, or needed operation, but he couldn't do the landscaping part anymore, and he needed to take some time off to recover. So they needed someone to take care of their property until he got better. So they hired me for that summer of 2013. Yeah, I did feel a little awkward at first, mowing their grass, especially the first time, being new in the business, and I wasn't super comfortable, with the string trimming, the edges of the sidewalk and driveways, especially when there's vehicles around. And but I pushed through it, and it felt like it took forever, especially the first time. But as each time I did it, it got easier and got more efficient, and they were perfectly happy with the service that I provided them. So 2014 rolled around, and they gave me a call early spring and wanted me to cut the grass again that summer. And I said, sure, I'll take care of you. And so I did. The first few, I guess, several weeks, in the early summer, I was cutting the grass as normal. And one time I showed up, he had his lawn tractors sitting out next to his shed that he had, his portable shed. And one of them, one of his lawn tractors had a for sale sign on it. And I was like, ooh, come to find out that he, I guess with his health situation, he was just gonna downsize and, keep one of the tractors and, sell whatever equipment, his backup stuff, or, his, he wanted to sell his trailer, and he wanted to sell that lawn tractor, and I'm not sure if he was selling any trimmers or not at the time. After talking to my customer, he explained, what the situation was, and, why he was selling, his Craftsman lawn tractor. And so, he said that he had it for sale for $400, and, with the bagger on it. And I said, boy, that sounds like a really good deal. And, after talking to him for a little bit about it, he says, you know what? He says, I'll give it to you for $300. And I was like, wow, that's a phenomenal deal. At least at the time I thought it was. And he said, I'll offer you the trailer for $300, and he was selling his trailer too. Like I say, I believe it was either a 6x10 or 6x12. I'm not sure which one, but it was enough to where it you know, could carry both tractors. But that trailer was just too you know, too big, you know, for my size of operation at that time. Because it was a nice trailer. It had the steel sides on it, you know, that were like, you know, 1.5 to 2 foot tall. It was definitely a nice trailer. So I told him I'd take it, and I would come back, you know, later that evening to pick up the lawn tractor with my 4x8 utility trailer. Because at the time I think I was running trailerless setup, you know, either with this truck or the other truck. And when I went to go pick it up, I'm pulling out my straps. I had those 2-inch little ratchet straps, you know. And he kind of laughed at me, and he says that's not going to hold that. And with him being a truck driver, they have like these huge straps, and so he says, here, use this, you know, to secure it down on your trailer. And I said, well, I'll bring it home and bring it back. He says, you know, oh, don't worry about it. He says, you know, you can keep those straps. He says, I got tons of them. So that was nice, you know. So I got me a nice set of, you know, heavy duty cargo straps out of the deal too. So I was pretty happy about that. Got the lawn tractor home, and from that point I started acquiring larger properties, and you know, started expanding the business. Based on the serial number, it's a 2005 Craftsman LT 1000, and it was equipped with a 17.5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton with a 42-inch deck on it, the stamp deck. And all in all, you know, it was a really good, you know, mower, and you know, I'm pretty impressed with the that stamp deck. I mean, it rarely clogged. It could take on some really high grass, thick grass, and you know, it's just amazing the design of you know, what they're capable of doing. So I used that mower the rest of that summer. I used it into, you know, 2015 into 2016. I think in 2016 I did purchase another mower, and it became a backup mower. And so in 2017 I decided to sell it, and I listed it on Craigslist. I'll show you the photos when I listed it, and I believe I put it on there for $250, and you know, within hours, you know, I had a dozen replies. A guy came down, and you know, he gave me $200 cash for it, and you know, it was a done deal. And at the time I wasn't selling the bagger. I wanted to keep the bagger for another project, which I'll explain in another video. But I never did use that bagger, and I believe I sold that last year in 2020. I think I sold it on Facebook for $100. So, you know, that's still a phenomenal deal, you know, to pretty much, you know, use a piece of equipment for, you know, 2.5 seasons and sell it for the price that you paid for it. So that's it for this video. Appreciate you know, watching, and stay tuned as I, you know, talk about the next mower that I purchased. I believe it was my 4th mower, and we'll catch you in the next video.